Ooh. Ooh. Oh my god, I just remembered where I am. Also, 10 controls. Okay. Before I do this. I solved the puzzle. Oh. If I can go in it, maybe I can push it. Oh. Okay, come on, come on, come on. She can push it. Okay, wait. Before you get us stuck. Literally, okay, nothing important. Nothing important. Okay, how do I run? Okay, circle. Those look like something I can pick up. Gadgets, nothing useful. Insects. Oh, there's something on top. I just saw it glow. I know it's the point of this box. Oopsie. Okay, it's gonna take a while to get used to the the directional controls. There we go. There we go. Confession letter. Alexia, my sister, it is a Wait. I misread that. Let me restart. Alexia, my sister, is a genius and possesses unmatched beauty. She is everything. I keep reading weird words. What is this? She has everything to me. I would overcome any obstacle and be willing to risk my life for her. For Alexia, I must revive the glorious Ashford family, which fell during the era of my father, Alexander. Together, we will restore our family name. Once that has been achieved, I'll build a palace where only nobles may gather. I cannot allow the unwashed to see my dear Alexia, to whom my life is devoted to. She reigns the world as queen, with I as her servant. This is a weird relationship between these two. That is my dream, and how sweet it will be. Those accomplishments will be the proof of my love. Your brother and sister towards Alexia. It is the purpose of my existence. All other people are meaningless, and they shall soon prostrate themselves before Alexia and I, devoted to my beloved Alexia. Yep. Yep. Hey! This is the third one. I can go to the airport area now. That was the last. That was the last slot I got. I don't think there are any item box nearby. So if I find something, I'll be kind of stuck. I can't interact with this one. Can I interact with the box? I kinda tried to, but okay, nothing. I got the save file. Climb down the ladder. Let's hope a monster does not pop up. Okay. I can just go down, right? There's nothing else in this room. She's kind of injured still. I got this one, I got this one, I can just go back and go to the airport right away. Okay. Alright, going to the airport. I'm not. I don't trust the game not to throw a lot of thingies at me. Well, let's see. I got the grenade launcher. I'm gonna keep it for those big guys. I don't even know what their name is.
Claire Redfield, hold it right there.
We meet each other at last. A pity I must say goodbye so soon.
I am Alexia Ashford. For the pride of the Ashford family, I will kill you.
I kind of want her gun. I want that sniper rifle so bad.
Wait!
What's going on?
Steve! A secret door!
After her!
None of those bullets hit her.
Are
Or
you
maybe
okay?
they did.
I'm fine. It's just a scratch.
Do not pulsate. Okay. I saw him crouching. I thought it was like some sort of zombie. Eesh. Steve seems to be uneasy. I better check this room. Okay, she did get injured. She threw her.
This must be.
Oh. Oh. Okay, I think I know.
What? No!
Wait a second. What just happened?
So there never was an Alexia after all.
You mean he thinks he's two people? Okay, that's it. Let's get out of here.
The self-destruct system has
That
been
freak! He's trying to
activated.
blow us up along
All
with the entire
personnel
facility.
evacuate
Come on,
immediately.
we gotta get to that airport.
Right.
Oh, we are going to the airport right away. Yeah, let's go. Oh no. What weapon do I have? Okay, this is clear. Whoopsie. Okay. I'm just looking around to see if there are like any ammo that I didn't pick up. I think we're good. Where? Please tell me they're down. Not here. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Yes. Okay. Here's the one last guy. Okay, I should be able to run past this place pretty fast. We'll see. Without having to shoot any of them. Oh, that missed. I'm lucky. That was lucky. Yes. Take your time going down. Yeah. I took the wrong turn. Here we go. Come on, go. We're good. I think we're safe. Please tell me there's nobody here. Okay. Did I kill that big zombie that was in this room? Yeah, doesn't matter. I'll just run. He's there. Okay, good. I can save, but I don't want to waste my ammo. I should get the normal gun out instead of the grenade launcher. But we'll see. Please tell me it's the normal zombies that did not upgrade. I can get away. No worries. We good. Oh yeah. There aren't any dogs anymore. It's the big guys instead. Let's go. Fast.
Claire! Those must be the main survivors.
We'd better get out of here too.
Right. Let's go.
Yes. No.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Why are you vibrating now? Is it to make things more intense? Oh,
We gotta get to that
The
airport.
self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel
How do you know about the airport, Steve? I've been exploring all by myself. But what about you?
The self-destruct system has been activated.
Alright.
All personnel evacuate.
Poor Claire, she's still holding on to her shoulder.
The self-destruct
I told you, she's gonna be holding on to her arm the whole game.
all personnel evacuate immediately.
Claire is never fine. Oh,
The self-destruct
oh wait, where's my dear Rodrigo?
activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Our good guy, our better male protagonist in this game. Where is Rodrigo?
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel
I did not kill the zombies here. Okay, good, good. Wait, was there something on the glass?
has been activated.
Okay, it's just the fish.
All personnel evacuate.
I'm gonna walk because I remember there are bats here. Oh, okay. Should be a cutscene.
The self-destruct system
All right, fine.
has been activated.
Gonna do this. Switch.
Evacuate immediately.
Am I just gonna be done with this game already? I only thought that I'd be.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
I only thought I'd be going onto this plane at the end of the game. Oh no no no!
The self-destruct
No,
system
uh,
has been
do
activated.
them one by one.
All personnel evacuate immediately.
Yeah.
The self-destruct system has
Just switch. Oh wait. There was another area that was missing a lever.
system has been
I guess it's not something I should have solved.
evacuate immediately.
Oh, like this. Wait, is that the lever that was missing that I was just talking about?
No! We can't take off unless we
The
raise the
self-destruct
bridge.
system has
Leave that to me. You stay here and make preparations for takeoff.
evacuate
Why is there a typewriter inside the plane? This is the lever. So I do have to go there.
All personnel evacuate immediately.
Ribbon. Yes. Does that mean I should save?
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel
I have a feeling I have to go to the lever area. Alright.
The self-destruct system has been
Ah.
activated.
It is so satisfying.
Evacuate immediately.
Yeah, oh. I have to go. Lock it.
The self-destruct system
There's an item box here. Nice.
activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
No. Wait. I'll get rid of the ink.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate.
Okay, I need to open the door. Here? No? Maybe here? Oh, that was the exit. That was the door. Okay,
Evacuate immediately.
let's see. Okay, I thought we would stop midway.
All personnel evacuate immediately.
Okay. I'm not. Okay, there are no bats. I don't have to worry.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All
He did not notice me. Oh, ammo. Yes. I very much need the ammo. Yes. Okay, good thing these are the dumb ones. I don't have to kill them. They should be the big ones here.
The
Just
self-destruct
go.
system
Go. Go.
all personnel evacuate immediately.
Oh. Please tell me there's no one here.
Self-destruct system has been activated.
Oh yeah, I never figured out this door.
Evacuate immediately.
Okay, let me just go here.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
Here we go.
All personnel evacuate immediately. The self-destruct system has been activated.
You know it.
Personnel
Yes. Is there something in here? Can I find something here? How could I go back? Oh no. I'm gonna have to go back another way. Okay, this is unknown territory. What's this? Device controls. The bridge's oil pressure.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
Anything to pick up? Oh, I see a lot of zombies. Please pick it up. Oh, here we go. Go, 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 go. Do not even try. Okay, before I leave, just want to make sure. Nothing. Just looking at the corpses. I don't want to go back. Maybe there's something interesting. Maybe there's something there. Oh, she's looking at something here? He's already dead. Yeah, what is she looking at? Well, what can I... Okay. Okay, I'll just go. The alarm mixed in with the... How would I get back? Alright, I'll just figure it out with that door. Oopsie. Oops. Directions are weird. Okay. Yes. Alright, here we go. Why is there another typewriter? I'm not saving here. An item box too. I don't trust this. They're giving me ammo. They're giving me a safe point. That's a grenade ammo. There's gonna be a boss fight. There's gonna be an army of zombies. What is this? Oh wait, the herbs. I just noticed those were herbs. Okay. Okay, they're giving me a lot of heals and a lot of ammo. Yeah, of course. Classic. Classic. Yeah. Okay, can I fix this door or something? A little bit of confused in the situation. Do I push the boxes? Oh, I do push them. Oh, okay. I can't push this one? Oh, I can't push this one. Maybe I can... There it is. I just pushed that box earlier. What is this? Nothing important. Oh, I can just do this. But what else? Can I go up? push it. Oh, I should check the other side. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. This is what I meant. Is that the one? Oh, hello. This device is not working. Yee, get away. Do I have to...
Self-destruct system has been activated.
Wait. I'm confused. No. Map? Where am I? This is the area. I definitely need to figure out a way to I don't think the crane should help me here.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate.
Okay.
The self-destruct system all personnel evacuate.
Anything I can pick up here?
The self-destruct system has been activated.
Oh, I can push it now. Okay.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
Yeah, I can probably push this now. Alright.
The self-destruct system has been
I cannot push this any further. Yep. What about this panel? Device controls the room's air condition. Okay, now it gets pushed somehow. Can I pass through the door? I don't think I can just pull. There's only push in this game. Oh. Of course. Makes sense. Alright.
All personnel evacuate. 5 minutes
5 minutes.
until detonation.
Oh, no. I did not save. I didn't save. Oh no. I can't move. This is a cutscene.
I will not allow you fools to escape. This is what you get for trying to oppose me. Now feel my revenge.
Oh, Mr. X. Been a while. You look good. Where are your clothes? Where's your hat? I can't move. Okay. I got the grenades. I'm ready. Oh no, I'm not. Where am I going? I need to go back to the airport. Is that it? It is. The range is so low. Yeah. Oh. Go. Should I? I might died. I was thrown around like a doll. I was thrown around like a doll. Wait, wait, wait. I was not ready. The grenade was not aiming. No! I went all the way back here! Yeah! Did I see T-virus in the sign? I'm guessing this guy is a tyrant. Mr. X is a tyrant, right? That is Mr. X. That is souped up Mr. X. That is buffed up Mr. X. Super hammered Mr. X. Oh, oh, oh. I forgot the worm. I forgot the worm. Hello. Alright, here we go. Wait. I wanna measure the distance, but I can't. Let me see. I got 12. The flame round. Maybe. Oh. I can try the flame rounds. I'm gonna try to just run. Yeah. Nice AF. Why? Why am I doing this? Come on. There we go. I got your legs. Oh, come on. He doesn't let me. Okay, I'm just shooting his crotch. Okay, I can get some distance. Wait. Oh. I died. Try again. We're trying again. It's warm and bitter tea.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate.
Here we go. We got some caffeine. Yeah. The aftertaste.
The self-destruct system
Okay.
My revenge!
I will feel your revenge. Already? Look at those thighs. Okay, I'm waiting for you. Oh, too close. Can I cannot pass. Do I do this? Just like shoot at him while he's like. What if I go close? Nope. I just get hit. I should have just hit him 3 times. That was it. Oh, oh. I thought that was like a hidden area. Alright, fine. Fine. We're fine.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Please tell me you're not gonna pop up again. I have a feeling I just beat him way too fast. And he's like gonna pop up again. Or there'd be more Mr. X's. More crude X's. Let's steer. don't need to see this cutscene all over again. You know. Bum. Get down the ladder. Less than 3 minutes. Why is the countdown still working even with the loading screen? I guess it's working well. Oh, can I leave now? I guess it makes the things more intense. Let's go. Wait, what did I see? There's something behind. Oh, okay, that's just a lamp. It's just a light. I thought there was like a creature in the water. I really hope I'm not. I'm not jinxing myself by saying that. Up. Let's just go to the airport. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Damn it. I should have turned the other side. But it worked the last time, so... We are done. Okay, the timer's gone.
What took you so long? I was starting to get worried.
No time to explain. Let's go.
Right, we're out of here.
Let's go,
Time to
Steve.
say goodbye to this death trap.
Yo. What?
We made it! Yahoo!
It's
This isn't the end of the
finally
game.
Over.
Is it over?
Claire, I'm sorry. I know I caused a lot of trouble for you.
No, it's okay. It was
About-
hard for both of us.
Well, I really hope you find your brother. I know what it's like to be alone.
Oh, Steve.
So, where should we go now? I can take you anywhere you want to go, Claire.
I hear Hawaii's nice this time of year.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Okay. Oh wait, I didn't solve the puzzle of this place. There was a puzzle. Also, we haven't seen Wesker.
This game is not over yet. Now you will see what real terror is all about.
Air combat?
Hey! What the? The cargo room hatch is open.
I'll go back and check it out.
Thanks. I've unlocked the cargo room door.
Ooh. Okay. Yes, save. Please save. Okay. Can I get my... Wait, how much ammo did I waste? Wait. Okay, should be enough. Then I do this. Right quick. Combine. Yes. Now we're ready to go. It's pulsating. Controller. Controller. It's slow too. Okay. Oh, hello. Hello. I love the camera angles. I love the camera angles. They have to show a butt shot first thing. Oh, lots of spikies. Oh, wait, what? Okay. No, I'm not moving. Materials preparation complete. Catapult ready. Am I just gonna... Can I launch the cat? I'm just shooting him out. No! Okay. I should have shot him. Okay, wait. Oh! That was a big punch. Yeah. I probably did. Okay, come here. Nice butt shot. Whoa! Okay, can I shoot you? I ran out of ammo in the middle of that. Look at that ass shot. They have to do the ass shot. They know what people are gonna look at. I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on, move! Catapult ready. Come on, shoot! Okay, wait, don't walk right towards him. Claire! Come on! 4 hits! Ah! What? Am I not? We're gonna be seeing that crouch shot for a while. Oh wait, he does have a salamander. Look at it, it's super tiny. Come on, run! Okay, she's crawling. She's limping. Come on, please use this. Being prepared. Should I not use it first and maybe shoot at him a couple of times before? Oh! Am I supposed to push him all the way to the end? Am I supposed to drag him at the end so that when it pushes him a little bit? Please. Oh, stop getting hit! Claire! Your final hit was gonna. You're gonna die! You're gonna die! I got stuck! The damn. Oh. Don't get strapped in the middle! I've got. Claire! 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 I'm here. I'm here. He shoved me to a corner and kept hitting me. Come on, 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 fucking die! I can fall. Oh boy, I'm just in time for the tyrant fight. Yeah, just in time, more like... yeah, it's almost like the 10th. No wait, I think it's 8th. Or 9th. Fight. Oh, we've been enjoying the cutscene so far. It's a very nice crouch shot. I'm a very nice ab. Yep, I cannot avoid that. What's it called? The charge. What was that? I take a lot of hits. Go. Let's go. Okay, he did that thingy here, so maybe that's my sign that he's damaged enough. Launch. 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 I'm not looking. I'm not gonna look. He's bleeding. I can see him bleeding. Run, don't get stuck. It's being prepared. Oh. Yes. Die! He needs to be at the back too. He needs to be standing at the back too, and not just damaged. Okay, you know what? Since I'm dying a lot, I can mess around and see what they do. Their status. They weaken enemies. Ooh. So technically I only shoot one? And then switch? Ew. Oh! I did not shoot. Oh. That looked interesting. He's charging at me the moment I get out of the screen. He keeps pushing me back. Yeah. Let me see. If I push the catapult to him right now, he gets pushed. Nope. Yep. Am I died? Am I dying? I'm gonna get super angry now. Come over here. Don't! I think if I managed to run and then push the button, he would. Let me run, please. It's too slow. You can run, you can run, you can run. Oh. Okay, come on. Oh! Do you want to trivialize this fight? Yes, please. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me! I'm taking any spoilers. I'm taking backseats now. I accept backseat request now. Ah! I actually didn't play 4. It's in my... I actually have it right here. Wait, no. Wait, there you go. Wait, where is it? Where are you? Game library. There we go. I have it right here. The OG. I'm kind of trying to save it until RE4 comes out, the remake. And while everybody's playing the remake, I'm just gonna play this one instead. I'm gonna... I can kind of guess that I'll be broke by that time. That'd be great. I know, right? For the memes. Also, because I already bought this, I don't want to buy the remake before I play this one. And I don't want to buy a remake game for its original. I don't like paying full price for remake games. I always wait until there's some sort of sale. Don't move in the fight at all. Hit him with 3 green grenades, then 4 fire arrows, then push the button. The green grenades are area effect. That's why the whole screen was... I want to use one. Okay, I'll try. I'll try. I'm not moving from my place, and I'll just keep shooting. And I should be able to hit him. Okay. Oh, there we go. Quick. Whip. I only wanted to do one. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on! Nope. Come on. I'm not gonna stop shooting until the button turns green. Please turn blue, please turn blue. Please turn blue. Button. Turn blue. Okay. Hey. I must defeat that monster. Oh. Prepared. I'm dead. Retry. Alright, fine. I'll use 2 of those green ammos. I'm getting a headache. I really do not want to deal with you, Mr. X. I really like your... Okay. A boop. And a boop. Come on. 2 shots. I do not want to use that last one. Equip. Up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 2 green and 7 shots. Ah! Ha 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 ha! Efficient. I really did not want to waste all of that green ammo. Damn you, Claire, for being so slow. Damn you, Claire. This cake is making you very hard to control. Oh, damn you, damn you. I struggled for an hour. For about an hour, 20 minutes or something like that. Sometimes the only way forward is parting with the things we like green ammo. That's the thing. I am very stingy with ammo. That's what makes that's what makes games like this very hard. Because I don't want to use the rare ammo unless I got like maybe 20 of it, and then only use 3.